Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migration to Australia? Perhaps consider to subscribe to our channel and turn on a little bell on the side. So once we have all the inside news, you'll be the first one getting all the updates. Now in this video, I would like to take you further into some of the viewer had requested some information and inquired in regards to the GTI subclass 858. So obviously, if you have followed through some of our video previously, you will notice that a lot of explanation has been done, but we haven't really gone through the actual procedure. And there's a little changes came up. I think it was done right before Christmas. 2020, but they are now announcing. I have come up to see the new procedures, what they are actually doing, and what they have announced. So I would like to take you an update on this. Now, first of all, I've checked the website for GTI, which they have now updated into all the new target sectors. So previously there were only 4, and now as you can see there's resource of how many of these 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 of them, but if we need to count them precisely, they're actually more than 10, because they categorize defense and advanced manufacturing and space altogether as one, and they count infrastructure and tourism as one. So I see there's a differences there, but anyway, they put it in 10. So there's a resources sector, agri-food and agri-tech, energy, health industry, defense, and advanced manufacturing and space, circular economy, digitech. So digitech will actually include cybersecurity, ICT, quantum computing, cryptocurrency, that's all including there. All these sectors that can actually dissect it into more specific majors or discipline. Anyway, should you require an advice, you can leave a comment right down below. Okay, that shouldn't be much of a problem here. Infrastructure and tourism. Now, in regards to this, I think the reason they put infrastructure and tourism together is that the project that the applicant actually nominate has to be in a capacity of large capacity, like zoo, like a theme park. It cannot just be a travel agency and local. So that's why I think they include infrastructure, because if you want to have a zoo, you need to have public infrastructure to go through, a highway, subway, all the traffic, transportations, and obviously environmental engineer all around the whole area. Obviously theme parks. Well, theme parks are generally nearby motorway, so public infrastructure or accessible should be around there too. So for instance, Disney in Hong Kong, you're required to take the light, I think that's light rail, all the way into Disneyland. So that's the reason they have infrastructures and tourism there. Now, finance service and fintech. So finance service, it cannot just be someone who is working in finance. It has to be in, again, if you follow my previous GTI video, we talked about international recognized achievements, how you could define, how the law and policy define internationally recognized achievement. You need to show that. So for instance, if you're in the hierarchy, higher end, and been working in the big 4, KPMG, Deloitte, Ernst & Young, which one? The other one, PwC, you should be able to meet this requirement. And finally, education. So again, you need to meet that international recognized achievement as well. You cannot just be a general teacher. You have to be in some sort of discipline, perhaps more towards a professor level. And to a school principal level, because a lot of countries, if you want to become a principal, you're required to obtain a PhD And if you get a PhD in some sort of discipline within education sector, then that should be able to go through GTI applications here. So that's an update here. And the obviously, if you click how to apply, they are still calling it. Are they still calling it the contact form? Let me have a look. So how to apply? You click on how to apply. They still call it contact form, but then also call it submit an expression of interest using GTI contact form. Now the once you clicked in there, it now becomes global talent expression of interest form. I'm not too sure why they call it contact form and call it EOI. Anyhow, it's just an EOI. So once you get in there, you fill out detail. And at the moment, the procedure that I can see is that the GTI application or EOI, you have to be a decision ready. Meaning that you need to have everything ready. That includes obviously your ID, your background, qualification, the evidence, supporting evidence to show that you have deemed to be internationally recognized, achieved awards, and also you have an Australian nominator. You need to have a nominator. If you don't have a nominator, and now that I've experienced the GTI officer came back and said, "Do you have a nominator?" If you don't have a nominator, we're not satisfied to actually give you the GTI code. So I'm going to show you what it looked like. So you need to get decision ready. You cannot just go in, let's try it, put some stuff in and see how it goes. That's not what the immigration want. Now they want the applicant to be ready. Everything's ready. And then you go into this, the expression of interest form, and you will see some of the column they are required to be attaching documentations here, attaching there. So obviously you need to get that already. Otherwise you won't get through to obtain a GTI ID in order for submission to the actual lodgement of the visa application. So what I'm going to take you and have a look what it looked like exactly. So this is one of the email that I received, which has a successful invitation to apply Global Talent Independent Program. So as you can see here, they are here. They're giving you a invitation reference identifier. So I blanked out the actual applicant's name. So the identifier will look like with BCC 2021, which is the year of today, and then there's an ID at the back there. And they will also giving you an invitation code. Generally start with G for GTI. And without these two identifier or the code, you are not able to actually lodge a visa at all. So in order to get all this, again, come back to the EOI form, you're required to have all the documentation ready. So make sure that you have all that. Otherwise, you'll be wasting your time. That's what I'm trying to say. So one of the major stuff is Form 1000, which is the Australian nominators. So I would like to take you into this form again, where the major stuff here for nomination by individual. Obviously, you need to get someone who is also in the field of expertise of your discipline. So if you're in solar, you're in energy, obviously, or resources, you need to get someone in resource sector. If you're in education, you need to get someone, an Australian who is prominent in that sector as well. And ensure that I did do a video as well explain that the Australian nominee has to be a national recognized in the field of their expertise as well. You cannot just find if you're an educator, you cannot just find a teacher from a local state school. No, that's not gonna work. You need to find someone is nationally recognized. Nationally recognized do have a definition. You can actually go back to the video that I have done previously and have a look at that one there. So the nominated required to fill in their name, date of birth, country of citizenship, basically. The convert they have Australian citizenship, their residential address, their phone numbers, and how they can contact by email, and confirm again their citizenships. Because some of these scholars or professionals might have multiple dual citizenship, perhaps Australian and UK, or perhaps Australian and USA. So so they need to disclose all that, and they need to describe their national reputation in that area. So they need to do that. Otherwise, this form will be deemed invalid. And a few of distinguished talents. So again, a few what sector that we have talked about. So the sector will be the one that we just gone through. That 10 of them. I'm just clicking backwards. So each of either of these sectors. Okay, and describe your profession. So again, some of these fields are actually duplication. So you already describe what you do and you describe it again. Anyway, just make sure the nominator put all that in. Is the nominee still prominent? So that should be ticked yes. Give a statement how they believe the GTI applicant or nominee is the expert in that field again, and how they benefit. Though that's pretty easy, because if you meet GTI's criteria, you'll definitely be an asset of a certain community. And how they have no difficulty. That's pretty easy. If you're a GTI field of expert, I don't think you have difficulty of getting employment in Australia, and occupations, name, and so on and so forth, salary rates, and the given detail of nominees' skill, experience, and their relevant proposed activities in Australia. So that again, these are all duplication. Now bear in mind the reason they have a lot of these duplication is subclass 858 was previously known as distinguished talent. It actually opens up for a lot of different talents, rather just for the GTI applicants. So if you're an artist, you're a prominent, internationally recognized artist, you can actually use this form and use this category of visa as well. So not just for the GTI. So again, the reason that I want to take everybody through is obviously I've received a lot of inquiry and questions. So today I would like to take this through and make sure that if you are interested about lodging GTI application or EOI, you need to have all the supporting evidence ready as a decision ready applications, and have your Australian nominator ready and with the form done and signed. Otherwise, the EOI might be deemed invalid. So make sure you get that all done. Anyhow, should you have more question and query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below, and I see you next video. Goodbye.